Hi, I'm Darren McMillan, CPGA golf professional and instructor. I offer youth programs for Indigenous youth here in Winnipeg. Whenever I get a chance to work with Indigenous youth, I really do feel a connection and gets me back to my heritage and can really relate to the kids that I get started in golf. I was fortunate to start golf at a very young age. I have two brothers. We all started golf at the Rossmere Golf Course in Winnipeg. My older brother was 11, I was 8, and my younger brother was 5. We really just kind of all took to it, and now all three of us are actually golf professionals, and golf has had a big influence on all of us. It's a game that teaches lots of life skills. It's a game that has a very social aspect to it, so I've had lots of great relationships with golf over the years, and very, very fortunate to have this game be part of my life. So we're going to talk a little bit about the pre-swing and specifically how to line up the golf club. I often tell my students that if I was only allowed to show them one thing, it would be how to put their hands on the club properly. The grip and how we position our hands on the club is probably the most important fundamental. We have to make sure that the club is set properly before we get our hands on the club, because everything that we do with our grip is in relation to a club face that's what we call square. So when the club face is square, we have these lines or grooves on the club face. These lines are going to be perpendicular right at the middle of your body. If those lines point towards your back foot, that's what we call club face closed. And if those lines point towards your front foot, that's what we call club face open. We want that golf club to be straight or square. Once we have that square club face, what we want to do when we hold a golf club is that we want to make sure that the club is resting in the fingers of the top hand. So the fingers wrap around the club, the heel pad and the thumb go directly on top of the club, and that's our completed top hand grip. If we take a look at your other hand, you've got this little groove in your palm right here. I always tell people that if you didn't know why you had that, it's for golf. Okay, now with our bottom hand, we're going to get that thumb to fit right in that groove. Fingers wrap around the back and the thumb goes on top, and that's our completed hold. So now we're going to talk a little bit about how the body moves when we swing. A couple things to keep in mind when it comes to our body movement. The first is that when we go to hit a golf ball, that ball is stationary, it's not moving. For that reason, we don't want excessive lateral or side-to-side movement with our body when we swing our golf club. The reason why that is that if I move side to side or laterally, I'm losing my reference point to where that ball is. So what's good body posture in golf? Okay, we have to accommodate for two things. Number one, the ball is down on the ground. Number two, the ball is away from our feet. We do that by creating two angles with our body. One is a slight flex in the knees. The other is a slight lean forward from the waist. The key word there is slight. We don't want either angle to get too severe. So a little way that you can do this once you've got the club face square and you've got your good grip is if we stood back from the ball a little bit and we established our good grip, if we just lifted the club up parallel to the ground about waist high, what we would do is release your legs from a locked position, let the club fall to the ground, and that's how far away I'm supposed to be. So now I would just walk in and I'm ready to go. How does this thing need to move? So let's talk a little bit about what a pendulum motion looks like. So if I just let this club swing back and forth, okay? It's got a repeating arc. It's going in the same place every time. It's got everything I need and want in a golf swing, okay? The bottom of the arc is the same every time. So I'm gonna hit the ball. Right, I'm not going to have to worry about swinging and missing the ball. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, the fastest part of this swinging motion is right when the club reaches the bottom of its swing. All right, so once we learn how to apply all these principles, we put it into use, it should look something like this. So without having to put any effort in we're gonna have acceleration, we're gonna have power, and we're gonna get that club moving through.